Welcome back, mathematicians. In this video, we are going to look at a property of functions, specifically the local maximum and minimum of a function. Now, some textbooks call this, instead of a local maximum and minimum, they call it a relative maximum and minimum. It means the same thing. So I'm going to stick with the verbiage of local, but what is the local maximum? The definition of a local maximum is the height of the function at a value a is greater than or equal to the height anywhere else on the interval. So I have the graph of a function off to the right here, and I've got a couple areas or a couple intervals where I have a value, a y value, that is higher than any other value in its general vicinity. And that's what the local maximum is. It's not looking at the entire graph, it's just looking at locally in a general area in the peaks, what is the highest possible value. And so we see that we have a peak right here, and in that peak, in that interval, the highest value is 5. So the local maximum is going to be 5. Now, sometimes you might be asked to identify where that local maximum is. And anytime you're asked to identify the location of the local maximum or local minimum, what you're really asked to find or identify is the x-coordinate. So in this case, the local maximum is 5 at x equals 1. Now let's look at the local minimum. The definition of the local minimum, very similar to the definition of the local maximum, is the height of the function at a, which is a y value, is less than or equal to the height anywhere else on the interval. So looking at our graph here to the right, what we can see is that we're really talking about the valleys. Where does the graph dip down at a low valley? And so we can see that there are actually two, and I'm going to highlight these in orange. So we would say that the local minimum is 0. It's the y-coordinate of this point, which is the low point in that general area in that interval, and it occurs at an x-coordinate of 0. But we have another local minimum, which happens to be negative 27. And this occurs at the x-coordinate of positive 3. So one more time, we have a local minimum of 0 at x equals 0 and negative 27 at x equals 3. So to recap, when you are asked to find the local maximum or local minimum, you're going to identify the y-coordinate of the point where you have a peak or a valley. And when it's a peak, a high point, it's going to be a maximum, and when it's a valley, it will be a minimum. You might be asked to identify where it is, and if you are, then you are supposed to identify the x-coordinate where that high point or low point occurs. All right, guys, good luck.